Good evening, Mathu sir. Namaste to all.
Good evening, sir.
Namaskar. Good evening, sir. Hello, good evening to all.
Good evening, everyone.
In Coimbatore, I got to say, sir.
ஆமாங்க சார், கோயம்புத்தூர்.
நானும் கோயம்புத்தூர்.
அப்படியா? எந்த ஏரியாங்க சார்? இப்போ
விடாங்குறிச்சிங்க.
ஓ, ஸ்டில் இன் கோயம்புத்தூர் தாங்களா?
ஆமா.
கோயம்புத்தூர்ல தான் ஆப்ரேட் பண்றீங்களா? ஆக்சுவலி
ஆமாமா.
நான் இங்க திருச்சி ரோட் சுங்கம் கிட்ட இருக்கேன்.
சரி சரி.
ஓகே, வெரி குட். ஒரு லிங்க் எப்படி வருது பாருங்க. வெரி குட்.
அதான் பாருங்க.
என் படிப்பனிடம் கொடுத்து வந்தால் மதாகினிலும் வந்த பெருமை பளிச்சொலி நீ இருக்கிற செய்திருக்காரை போலும் தலைக்களை மாலை கழுதற்கும் வீரை தந்தை விடுதி கண்ட என்னை விட்டார் ஆரடியார் பெறகோச நம்பிக்கரசை சீரடியார் அடியார்.
Good evening, friends.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
So, how
Good
are
evening,
we
sir.
all poised for today's class? There is some background noise coming. Someone's audio is on. You know the rules. The audio has to be off at all times, excepting when you speak. And the video has to be on at all times. Can I request Chitra, Yogesh, and Muthu to kindly switch on the video, please? Yeah, Muthu, great. Welcome.
Hi, sir.
Let me introduce Muthu to you. He's been an old colleague of mine. He's the sales manager for HLL. Yeah, any one of you want Horlicks, contact him. Not just Horlicks, huh? You want to have all the diabetic food and everything, he can send it by truckloads. Incidentally, he deals only in truckloads, huh? So just be careful about that. You might end up asking for one and you might suddenly find a truckload of, what is it? Ensure, huh? Landing in your place. Okay, friends, so we will start our session for the day. We have a few absentees today. Mr. Ravichandran is unwell, 80 plus in Canada. So the cold is also very bad, so he's unwell. Nitya has had a demise in her family, so she's unable to join. And then I think someone else, a couple of them are traveling. It's okay. Let's start. As is our customary on our platform, we will start with the rendition to our motherland. All those of you who can, kindly stand up. Others can keep your videos muted for this period of the rendition. After that, you can unmute the video again. Thank you.
कोटि कंठ कल कल निनाद करले
जय।
वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा।
Intention drives energy. Let us create within ourselves the intention to attain the highest possible level of expertise, and may Lord Ganesha remove all obstacles in our way to achieving those objectives. Talking about obstacles brings me to the Bhagavad Gita, where Lord Krishna tells Arjuna something which is very pertinent even today. What did he say? He said that man is not kept away from achieving his objectives or his goals because of obstacles. He is kept away from the goal that he can achieve by a clearer path to a lesser goal. That means, if given an option, man will always choose to stay within the confines of his comfort zone and not step out of it. Keep complaining that he is not achieving what he is capable of, but not take one step towards achieving it. Friends, let us not do that. Let us aspire to achieve what we really can by stepping out of our comfort zone. That brings us to today's course. Yes, now you can all unmute your video so that I can see you. Mr. Ram Sundar and Mr. Anil Goswami are yet to unmute their video. Yogesh, अब जितनी देर करोगे उतना देर लगेगा. Any particular reason, Mr. Ram Sundar? Yogesh, what happened to your video? Yes, thank you. अनिल गोस्वामी जी, आप तो कभी भी अनम्यूट नहीं करते, आज क्या हो गया? आज ये अनिल कौन है?
ये उसका ताकि मेरा सिस्टम थोड़ा I am two system I am there.
You are on two system.
I am mobile also.
Okay. Off कीजिए, वीको आ रहा है. Okay, let's start. So we are going to be looking at the third part of the blue ocean strategy. Blue ocean strategy is something which is very well known to you all. It is the process by which we try to find uncontested market space for our product and services. Every one of us are currently, in all probability, operating in a red ocean, which is full of competition, where price is the main determining factor, and we have to struggle against multiple competitors, existing and new entrants, on a daily basis. Blue ocean strategy, through 6 different pathways and various tools, helps us to identify uncontested market space which is exclusively ours, where we can have, without competition, a beautiful, smooth sailing, and the amount of customers that we can get for ourselves is totally dependent upon our own inclination, not because of competitors or external factors. We have already seen 2 pathways. One is how to check through alternative industries and find within the layers of those alternative industries uncontested market space and curate your and harvest your customers. The second was through strategic groups. Every industry has strategic groups in it. How to work through those strategic groups and identify new customers and new opportunities for the sales of your product and services. Now, today we are going to see the chain of buyers. Will any one of you please tell me what exactly is the chain of buyers?
The chain of buyers consists of three particular people or three particular segments. One is the influencer, one is the payer, and finally one is the user. All these three combined together form the chain of buyers.
Absolutely right. For every product or services that you have on offer, there might be a user who is different from the person who pays for the services and product. There might be a purchaser who does not really use the product. And there is an influencer who influences the decision based on which the transaction is made. As an entrepreneur or as a service provider, we often make the mistake of focusing on one of these three segments and presenting our product in the marketplace or services in the marketplace. But there is a huge amount of opportunity if you should look through the other two segments to find out where uncontested market space is there and enhance your market potential. That is what we are going to see today. What we will be doing is we will see through a very simple case study. I am giving you a domestic condition, but please understand one thing. This case study is only to highlight the process which you have to adopt to find the solution. This case study is not something which you can, take as gospel truth for that domestic condition. Then we will see how the same process is used in commercial conditions by companies for their services and products. Okay, let's start. A good example of the chain of buyers is the Oral-B electric toothbrush for kids. Who is the purchaser of this product?
The parent.
Parents.
Yes,
Parents.
the parents are the purchaser. They only purchase the toothbrush for their children. Who is the user?
Child.
Children.
The child.
Child.
The child is the user. And who is the influencer?
Advertisement.
Advertisements,
Friends,
blog
colleagues.
posts,
Dentistry.
the dentists, they are all the people who influence the decision. Based upon the recommendation of the dentist or based upon what you see in the advertisement or in the website or in the TV, the parent takes a decision, he purchases the toothbrush and then the child uses it. So you can say that across the chain of buyers, you have the decision maker, the end user, the influencer, the doctor or someone. And then, there could be some champions also in it, like the grandparents or others, who try to influence the whole process of the deciding. So let us understand the chain of buyers. The first is, you have to understand the three key buyer roles for any products. Who is the person who is paying? Who is the procurement officer? As in the case of the toothbrush, it is the parent. The second is identifying the dominant buyer in your industry. Who is the person who is a dominant buyer on whom the entire focus is? It could be anyone. Who are you currently targeting with your campaign?
Children.
Whoever it is that you are targeting, but it depends upon the type of industry you are in. So your assumption is that he is the dominant buyer. In that, if your assumption in that is not right, there could be a serious problem. Spot what are the things which are overlooked in the chain. Ask yourself, who else plays a role in the buying decision or use? Is there someone with power but no voice? You see, for instance, these coaching centers, these in places like Erode, Coimbatore, Kota, and other places are very famous for their coaching centers.
Yep.
Now, these coaching centers market their product to parents, but the students who use the service and ignoring the students' daily experience can lead to dropouts. And if they don't complete the course, it is a black spot on the coaching center. To spot the overlooked roles in the chain, explore the unmet needs across the roles. What does each buyer value most? Where are the pain points in the user? What frustrates influencers or blockers? For instance, if a software is sold to a CFO, you might be selling a software to a chief financial officer of a company, but the employees hate using it because of its complexity. Now, you see, the acceptance of that product will slowly go down. Unless you redesign it for a better user experience of the user, the CFO will find that there are complaints pouring in every day. You might remember a very old advertisement when IBM came up with a desktop. The advertisement read, "No one ever lost a job for buying a IBM." What was the meaning of this? During those days when IBM came with a desktop, computers are used mainly in the corporate. The concept of a personal computer had not yet come. Or rather, even if it had come, it hadn't taken off so much. So the purchases were all bulk. The decision was taken by the person to whom the intent used to go that we require this many desktops. The payment used to be made by the company and the employees used to use the desktop, but the purchase manager was the one who made the decision. So IBM decided not to concentrate either on the top level, the person who is paying, or the user, the clerks and the workers, the data entry operators, and whoever it is that is using the desktop in the office, but rather the influencer. Who was the influencer? The person who was taking the final decision. He was the influencer. So it said that you will never lose your job if you decide to purchase an IBM desktop. Shift the focus to a different buyer. If you find that you are unable to grow as fast as you want, then it is time to shift your focus to a different buyer. For you, the buyer could be the influencer, it could be the actual buyer, or it could be the user. It is for the product that there are three categories: the user, the purchaser, and the influencer. But for you, ultimately, it is a transaction. The one who finalizes the transaction is the most important person. So if you find that you are not moving fast enough, then it is time to shift your focus to a different buyer. Ask the question, what if you designed your offering for the user and not for the payer? What if you design the offering for the influencer and not for either the payer or the user? Can you give me an example of a place where the focus is on the influencer, not the buyer and the user? An entire industry is focusing on the influencer and not the buyer or the user. Can any one of you tell me which industry I'm talking about?
Medical industry, sir.
Absolutely, the pharmaceutical industry. The pharmaceuticals industry's entire focus is on the influencer, the doctor. He is neither the purchaser nor the buyer. But in recent times, one company made it to the top by focusing on the user, skipping the other two in terms of importance. Can you tell me which company I'm talking about?
No.
Absolutely right. No Nordisk. With their insulin, their strength went straight to the diabetic. So you see, there are ways by which you can find uncontested market space for your product, whichever industry you may be in, and take a decision. The consulting industry is a very, very interesting industry in this aspect. The training industry is a very interesting industry. Because these are industries, the coaching industry, the training industry, the consulting industry. Oftentimes, the boundaries demarcating these three, the user, the influencer, and the buyer, is very, very confused. They overlap. So, your ability to understand how to work through them can add great value to your enhancing your practice. Finally, having done this, it's time to reframe your value proposition. Create a product service that delights the neglected party in the chain. You will find that at least one or two of the parties are seriously neglected. If you can design a value proposition that delights them, you can take a march, you can get ahead of your competitors. Communicate value to the right buyer for all buyers. That means what? Communicate the right value for the purchaser, for the user, as well as the influencer. This can disrupt the market and create differentiation and demand. So how do you do it? There are 5 different steps that companies follow, that product managers follow in trying to identify an uncontested market space through the chain of buyers. Let us see what those 5 steps are. Number 1, understand the 3 key buyer roles. Follow this up with identifying the dominant buyer in your industry. The 3 key buyer roles in the toothbrush industry are the parent, the child, and the influencer, the dentist, or the advertising chain, or the advertising campaign, the education campaign, whatever it is. These are the 3 dominant buyers. Who is the dominant buyer in your industry?
Dentist, huh?
He is the influencer. The person who holds the purse strings, the parent, is the dominant buyer. 3, spot the overlooked roles in the chain. Who are you overlooking in this chain? You go to a shop. What do you find? Colgate Total toothbrush, 3 toothbrushes in a pack, 4 toothbrushes in a pack. Do we see that?
Yes, sir.
All are hard or all are soft. Do you see that? Now, what is the logic behind giving 4 toothbrush in a pack? Unless you are targeting 4 members of the family at a time. Or are you expecting the family to buy, a family of 2 to buy 4 and keep 2 of them in the, the bathroom cabinet, so that, once these 2 are exhausted, get old, you can use it? Are you thinking like that? What is the thought behind it? And if you have put all the 4 in a single pack and all are hard, are you trying to say that both the parents as well as the children should use hard toothbrushes, bristles, and get their, the children could get their tender gums damaged, the enamel could get damaged? What is it that you are trying to do? And by giving of the same size, are you saying that the parents and the children should use the same size? You see, this is where even big companies make serious mistakes. They have not thought it out properly. This was one of the reasons, why some new companies like Oral and others got a foothold into the industry, which was totally dominated by companies like Colgate, Binaka. Explore unmet needs across these roles. What are the needs which are unmet? What does each buyer value the most? What are the pain points? As a purchaser, you might value economy. As an influencer, the person who is influencing you, the doctor, the dentist, will value the impact the product has on the teeth enamel, the gum, the cleaning, the cavities, the caries, all that, how well it removes stains. That is what he is in. He is interested in technical and scientific aspect. And as a user, the child or the person who is using it might go for comfort. So which unexplored need, well, which unmet need is there which you can explore and then shift the focus so that the opportunity comes. But remember one thing, all these things can be done by common sense. Am I right? All these things can be done absolutely by common sense. But what is the disadvantage of doing it by common sense?
Common sense is not very common.
You said it, Anil. You see, experience speaks. And when you have been in a senior government position in Delhi, you should be able to tell.
Very common.
Was it Haryana, na? Even more dangerous place.
Haryana.
You know, Anilji, you should listen to the stand-up comedy of Arun Gemini. Have you heard? He's a Haryanvi comedian, stand-up comedian. Have you heard? Guys, rip-roaring, I see. Most of my evenings here are spent listening to him nowadays. Anyway, getting back to our topic, working with common sense, as Anilji rightly pointed out, is a great pitfall. When you are serious about achieving an objective, kindly go through the process. It might be a bit difficult, but process always wins. Process always wins. I can tell you this much from my personal experience. I am in the midst of highly, educated, capable, and accomplished people here. I am just an ordinary graduate with nothing to write home about. Absolutely nothing to write home about. Excepting that I graduated way back from Banaras Hindu University. Today, people say BHU. Yeah, BHU. But during our days, it was one of the worst universities in the world. It was the only international university of India, and it was the worst. Morarji Desai had told in the parliament, the only solution to BHU is put an atom bomb on top of it and close it down. It was totally criminally infested, and it was the worst. Education-wise, it was nowhere. The question comes then, how the hell did I make it to the top of the industry where I started at the bottom as a sales representative within 18 years and held that top position as a CEO for 28 years? How? In various national and multinational companies. Because I had the misfortune or the good fortune to have highly accomplished and educated people working and reporting to me. I had even people who had graduated from Harvard, Stanford, and Yale and Wharton reporting to me. And they all knew I'm just a graduate, so what do you think would have happened? They looked at me like a dog looks at a caterpillar. Have you ever seen a dog look at a caterpillar? I have. We had a German Shepherd. And I used to tell my wife, this is how my subordinates look at me. So the challenge was for me to outthink them and to not get, bullied by them. And what they used to do, they used to come and put a paper in front of me. And the only thing very early I realized was that if I put my signature in any of these, I'm finished. So what I used to do, I used to take it and keep it and tell them, okay, I'll get back to you. And then I used to go and study, and then use the process, the system, which is recommended, and do it. Very soon my designation of CEO came to be known as checklist executive. I started demanding that every paper that comes to me should come with a checklist. Why? Because I trusted more on the system and the process than on anything else. So I will suggest all of you that if you want to achieve something seriously, don't use your brain. What I'm saying? Don't use as what Anilji says, common sense. Don't use it. Use the system. Use the process. Go by the process. You will never fail. With that, let us start today's case study. The case study is very simple. Renu is a working mother in Bangalore. She is frustrated every morning. Her 14-year-old son, Arav, constantly complains about the tiffin she packs. I think this is a common occurrence in every house. Either the food gets soggy, cold, and skips it and buys junk food from the school canteen. Obviously, the morning 8 o'clock she is packed. Then when the child takes the food at around 1 o'clock, it becomes soggy and cold. Doesn't like it. He goes to the canteen. And today, parents give a lot of money to the children anyway. So he goes and buys whatever junk food he wants and eats it. Asking him what he wanted, but he changes his mind daily. Sometimes he wants this, sometimes he wants that. Buying a more expensive tiffin box, but still he wouldn't carry it, saying it's bulky and uncool. Coordinating with the maid to pack it late, but it was a daily, time crunch. The tension keeps rising, and Renu is worried about his nutrition and feels unappreciated. She sees it as a simple purchase. In the terms of business, is always a purchase, isn't it? And what is the purchase? The purchase is of a product or service which combines tiffin box and home food. But the purchase is failing. The execution is failing. It's not working. Now use the chain of buyer principle or the blue ocean strategy and help Renu out of her problem. You can all take a screenshot of this. If you want, you can take a screenshot of this also. So that inside the breakout room, you will be able to go about it in a step-by-step fashion. So you will not get stuck. The answer is very simple, but it can be reached only if you walk through the process. Try to use what Anil Goswami sir called the common sense, and believe me, you are going to be running all over Connaught Place trying to find the answer. But if you use the process, the answer will be there in front of you within a few minutes. I hope everyone has taken the screenshots.
Yes.
Okay. So there are 17 of us. I will split you into 2 groups of 8 each. And you can go and discuss. I am giving you half an hour time. Discuss the thing. Use the chain of buyer process and try to find out what it is that Renu can do. Any questions? that means either you have all understood fully or nothing. It's okay. We will know at the end of the breakout room.
Right.
Okay.
It is a very challenging problem. It's not easy.
अरे भाई आपका पोता होता तो क्या करते, खिलाते नहीं क्या उसको?
आजकल
ऐसे
सारे ऐसे, आजकल सारे के सारे बच्चे ऐसे हैं. All children.
तो फिर सबके पेरेंट्स को सिखाओ ना ब्लू ओशन स्ट्रेटेजी. ओके. आप तो यार बड़े इन्फ्लुएंसर हो अपने लोकेलिटी में, गुड़गांव में, आप तो सिखा ही सकते हो. ओके, आई हैव ओपन द रूम्स. All of you, please move towards the rooms. Hurry up, it is 11:08. I don't know. Here the time is 11:08 and 30 minutes. I will call you all back. Welcome back. So, how was the experience?
Good, sir.
It was good, sir.
Good, sir.
Very good,
Nah.
sir. Great learning.
Was relaxed, half an hour,
No, no.
away from
No,
all
sir.
toxic material like me.
We're brainstorming.
We cannot reach also.
I told you, na, Karpusamy sir, no brain should be used. Then again you come and say brainstorming.
Only checklist.
हाँ गोस्वामी सर, आप इनको कन्विंस नहीं कर सके ना दिमाग नहीं यूज करने के लिए.
सर मेरा अपना दिमाग भी बड़ा लिमिटेड है.
अच्छा है.
मेरा भी लिमिटेड
मैं
है.
तो सोच रहा था आपने त्याग दिया है.
ये
अब
हमारे
माथुर साहब कहाँ गए भाई?
माथुर साहब हैं.
हाँ.
I'm
He
here.
looks like he looks like a miniature version of Ravan. Ravan had 10 heads, he has 3. माथुर साहब को देख के डर लग रहा है.
आज मेरा नंबर है क्या सर?
अच्छा चलिए भाई कौन भाग गया? Okay, let's
सर
start.
आप फोन कर रहे हैं मुझे?
We were 19, now 14.
Any breakdown room problem maybe? Bedroom.
हाँ there.
No, Muthu sent a message to me that he is not feeling well, so he's off.
हाँ.
अरे यार out of 27 registrants 14-15 हो गए. बहुत अच्छा है भाई.
तो माथुर जी
हाँ सर.
मैं तो स्टैंडर्ड लेके चलता हूँ कि 33% आएंगे.
Start 19 से किए थे सर.
ये करें डब्बे जैसे
तो
बॉम्बे का
होता ही है, जैसे रजिस्टर करते हैं पैसा देते हैं
क्या?
27 और आते हैं कितना
बम्बाई ना डब्बे
10
हाँ,
12
ठीक।
फिर बोलेंगे मुझे कि सर भेज दो रिकॉर्डिंग समझा दो. अच्छा चलिए विच ग्रुप इज गोइंग टू प्रेजेंट नाउ?
Our group is first, sir.
Mathur, sir.
We have not completed all the process, but where we have reached.
कोई बात नहीं, बेटा भूखा जाएगा, इसमें क्या है?
Thank you, sir. As you
बोल
said,
देंगे उसको बोल देंगे यार अभी ब्लू पूरा हुआ नहीं है. अब देखो देखो यहाँ पे योगेश जी खा रहे हैं अकेले.
ये तो
एड्रेस भेज दो.
बंद करो बेटा.
Okay, come on, start. Who is
Yes.
going to start?
May I start, sir?
हाँ
हाँ.
कीजिए.
First, our group is understand the 3 key buyers. As everyone knows, 3 key buyers is first is user Arav, and buyer or payer is parents or Renu in this case. And key points of influencers में we have taken friends, canteen, mother, and social media and teacher. All are the influencers. Then in dominant buyer we have taken mother is the dominant buyer and Arav. And this and spot overlooked in the chain, child is overlooking his nutrition, and mother is overlooking his preferences or acceptations. Explore the unmet needs. Mother's unmet need is nutrition. Best of for health is and child is needed hot and fresh or homemade food. And influencers need is nutrition, fresh food, hot, give the junk food to the persons. And the shift focus by we have decided to give the fancy box supply the fresh food like Bombay Dibbe Wala or these things. This was the thought process of the team. And then finally we heard that Renu may use homemade food like sandwich, get prepared from maid or herself for the bacha and give, and by Suchki or other methods, he can put the dibba during the lunch time of the Arab, so that he may get the fresh food or hot food and this. Now,
वेरी गुड। मेरे कुछ सवाल हैं।
yes,
सबसे पहले
हाँ,
द्वापर और त्रेता युग में हो सकता है मम्मी इन्फ्लुएंसर थी, आज तो कलयुग में तो मम्मी न्यूसेंस है भाई। आप इन्फ्लुएंसर कैसे बोल दिया?
ये जयेश जी देंगे इसका जवाब।
मम्मी
क्यों जय जी, आपके घर में मम्मी इन्फ्लुएंसर है क्या? हमारे घर में तो नहीं है।
हाँ मतलब लेकिन वो इन्फ्लुएंस कर तो सकती है सर।
वो
जबरदस्ती
Actually-
कर सकती है, इन्फ्लुएंस
नहीं
नहीं कर सकती।
नहीं, इनका सर पर्पज ये था इन्फ्लुएंसर के मींस देयर इफ व्हेन वी आर पर्पज फॉर इन्फ्लुएंसिंग फॉर न्यूट्रिशन फूड, तो ही विल गो टू जंक फूड एंटी, तो ही इज एंटी इन्फ्लुएंसर टू।
ओके, अच्छा अगला पॉइंट अब क्या था, क्या था?
लास्ट हो गया फिनिश हो गया।
ये हो गया
ओके,
लास्ट।
So, just a couple of points to be added, for
Yes.
the Blue
yes
Ocean
sir, anyone please.
Yeah, for the Blue Ocean strategy over here, rather than the traditional tiffins and all that, they will try to be creative in terms of making something which is small bites, less messy, and which the son can proudly display to his friends and things like that. So I think that would be yeah.
that is in the tiffin. That could be part of your value innovation, where you create more value for a lesser price and provide a product which will have greater acceptance among his peers, and thereby enhancing his status and addressing his embarrassment at the level of their
Exactly.
friends. Excellent.
And involve
suggestion.
him also in making the same.
That is even better.
Yes.
Brings about an intrinsic motivation and engagement,
Yes. Yes.
where he doesn't feel it is imposed upon him, rather he is a co-creator in the whole process.
Yes.
Beautiful idea. Anything else? So you have identified that in the user segment there are a couple of lacunas. The first lacuna being that he is unable to leverage his status as a peer with his peer group because of not being in a position to add value to their existence. Anything else? Hi, Yogesh, you are muted.
You mean child is not able to exercise?
Yeah, is he able to? You see, when you are giving him a food which he can't display openly to his friends or share with them, is his user experience not going down? है कि नहीं योगेश जी? Enhancing, see, the user experience need not be only in terms of filling the stomach or catering to his taste buds. It could also be pampering his social status and his ability to influence and generate opinion within his peers.
Yes.
Like when Subaraju sir said that, you can talk to him, maybe, rope him into the type of tiffin he wants, and then ask him to, work on it along with the cook or whoever it is who is going to prepare it and co-create a product which he can proudly share with his friends. What happens? Now you see, he can't go and give them to his friends and say, you eat this, I will go and buy junk food. Anything else?
Sir, we can give in school, we may made a school in a school curriculum, we may fit that this junk food is injurious to health or lead to the cancer, or this type of that knowledge they may give.
Not overlook
See,
roles in the chain.
the junk look thing, like Prasud was talking in the group about removing it from the school canteen, will come under a workshop for which subject? आप अटेंड कर चुके हो भाई आप लोग. You should be able to answer this question of mine.
Pardon?
Within industries, sir.
This question of junk food in the school. You know, Prasud had recommended that it should not be there in the school, right? And then Kamsami sir had said that in place of that, nutritious food should be served by the school. Am I right or not?
Yes, sir.
Now, this should come as a part of a workshop for which subject?
Within the industries.
No, it should come
Across
as
alternate
a
industries.
workshop for empathy mapping. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? What do you do? You see junk food is being served. You feel scared that your child will take junk food and spoil his health. Right? You go talk to the principal and initiate action. So this is not a part of Blue Ocean strategy. Blue Ocean strategy is what you can do with your product and services. You will not be able to work on the environmental landscape. And influencing school to change is working on the environmental landscape, which will be part of the empathy mapping thing. क्यों अनिल सर एक थम्स अप तो दे दो. Okay, now let's go to the second team.
Okay, sir. So the second team has come up with the following information. So first is the chain of buyers, in which the user, who is the child, who always complains that his food is getting soggy, cold, and also he's telling that his container is bulky and it is looking uncool. Second is we have the buyer, who would be the parent, which is mentioning Renu, the mother, in this. And third is the influencer, in which our team has come up with the tiffin making industry, the teachers, the classmates, who plays a key role as the influencers. And second one, the identify the dominant buyer, like Renu, the mother, she is the dominant buyer here. And third one is spot overlooked roles in the chain. So we have the teacher here, who plays a very important role by giving them some kind of instructions or educating them about the importance of food, because he is not having homely food. Second, we have the classmates here, who he has to show off his product to them, and telling it is uncool, and it is showing that the child is ashamed. So the third one is the maid. So the maid here is not preparing a variety of dishes. And we have the fourth one, who is the advertisement players of the tiffin box, like in Cartoon Network or similar kind of cartoonic channels in which the youngsters see. There were advertisements with tiffin box to it, attaching good or the latest cartoonic segments, which increase their sales. And next, we are going up upon the explore unmet needs across all roles. So one is the unmet nutritional intake of the child, because he is not taking the food. The mother is concerned about his health. Second is the mother's role is not appreciated. There is one more unmet need, that the child is not getting a variety of unique homemade foods. And shift the focus to a different buyer. The tiffin should be of good quality, having insulation and compartment to contain and ensure that the food is hot, crispy, can opt for a vacuumized and attractive tiffin box. And the next alternative is to educate the maid about preparing a new segment of food. The third one, which already you mentioned, the canteen and the school has to ensure good food, that I am skipping out, sir, because as you mentioned, it is not the right path. That's it, sir.
Thank you. All of you are
Advertisers of junk food are also overlooked in the as a role in the chain. When we say spot, overlooked the roles in the chain.
You see,
Because
what precedes junk food? Why did he go to the junk food?
Because the food is soggy and cold.
Okay. So what requires to be addressed?
The food should not be soggy and hot and fresh.
Yes, it should be hot and fresh. Right?
Supposing,
And definitely he is not the only person who is going.
supposing we
Actually,
Others are
we-
also going for the junk food.
we may also
We
like
wrote
to
some
serve-
contents about junk
now
food.
let us work through the process.
we may
address each
also
point.
we may also like to serve him some fruit cream or sometime ice cream, something like this. Children like it.
Yeah. कर देंगे जी आप बोल दिए हो तो.
Ice cream would melt.
So let's go through the chain of buyers matrix. Okay. Number one, keep it as simple as possible. You see, the more variables you bring into anything, the more confusing it becomes. You have to prioritize. So many other things can be brought in, but then what do we prioritize? Number one, Renu is designing the solution for herself, the preparer. She is looking only at her convenience. She as a purchaser, the preparer, she is looking what is convenient for her. Everything she is looking in, the designing the solution is for the preparer, but she is not the actual user. Arav is the user. Renu was solving for herself as the economic and practical buyer, easy to cook, easy to wash, easy to pack, but ignoring the actual user, Arav, whose needs were emotional, social, sensory. What did he want? He wanted tasty food. He wanted cool factor, he wanted to appear cool in front of his colleagues. And above all, he wanted peer approval that what he is doing is great, it's in trend. That is what he wanted, but Renu was looking at it totally from her angle only. The actual user is Arnav, whose basic need is warm food. He wanted warm food. So without addressing that warm food, nothing is going to be achieved because again, it will go back. The third thing is the influence of the school atmosphere and the friends. They need to look cool and to get their approval. So what does he do? So what he can do? First thing is what? Have you ever thought about one thing? There is something called an electric tiffin box, where the tiffin box can be plugged in and it will keep the food warm. It can look very cool. And then, it can get tremendous amount of peer approval from his friends. And their parents will face the problem that now Renu is facing. They will go home and tell that, no, I will not accept this. I am not looking cool. See, Arav has come up with a cool solution. Right? That is something which can be done. Second thing is, what is the food which is there in the canteen which he wants to purchase? There must be some decision he is making there. Some sort of a weighing is going on in his mind when he goes even for the junk food. In the junk food, there might be pizza, there might be burgers, there might be vada pav, there might be so many things. What is he deciding on and why? Did you talk to Arav about it? The junk food you are buying, why you are buying the junk food? What is the reason you are hitting upon a particular type of food? Is there any alternative to that we can prepare from here and send it to you? Is that not possible? Then, as Subaraju sir said, Singaraju sir said, maybe give small portions of it, but a good quantity of it so that he can not only have it himself, but also share it with his friends. And in the process, They will share their food with him. There is variety also involved in it now. Are you getting the idea? Huh? So you see, when we decide to go through the series, you find a lot of solutions coming up. You can have some sort of a ritual, a mom-son ritual, you can have, in one of my classes, a person suggested a beautiful thing. He said, sir, we can have some sort of a quiz in it. The mother could, prepare, do all these things and put a quiz inside it, which he can share with his friends and take the answers. And then next day's food will be prepared based upon the person who has answered that question correctly from his friends. Again, there is an upsearch. Let us say there is a question. Who built Taj Mahal? The person, he opens the tiffin box for that day, takes out that paper, sees the question, asks this question. One of his friends say, Keshav answers it. Now it is Keshav's turn to tell what sort of a tiffin Arav should bring the next day. He goes and tells it to his mother. She prepares their tiffin, and then that comes in that electric tiffin box for everybody. That increases enhancement. Are you getting the idea? See, we can create uncontested market space if we go through the process. Now let us see what the process is here. Lessons learned from this case study. You see, there are no right or wrong answers to this case study. You must have understood that. It's only an enhancement of user experience, ensuring compliance, and enhanced commitment. Arav should enjoy the food which has been sent to him. He should have greater acceptance among his peers. They should appreciate him and look up to him. And he should be committed to continuing taking homemade food which is good for him rather than go and take junk food from the canteen. That is what it is. Enhanced user experience, better compliance, and greater commitment. Once you have been able to achieve this, you will be able to draw in more and more customers towards your product and services. Number one, identify the buyer chain. In family buying, there are always multiple buyers. The one who pays Renu, the one who uses Arav, and the one who influences peers and the counselors in the school. Where was the misalignment detected? Misalignment was detected in Renu was buying and designing for her convenience, not for Arav's preference and the context. The context is not only was he wanting to have food, he wanted to be appreciated and looked upon by his peers. The student community of the school, he wanted them to feel that he is something more than them. This is where the real misalignment came. So what should you do? Number one, get him a tiffin box, which is not the usual one, but can provide warm food. So the best thing is what office goers usually use for their office, an electric tiffin box. Most office goers use it. And it has a fancy cover, a good handle, because, again, the person, the earning member of the family, if he is going to buy a tiffin box for himself, he will also be very conscious about how he looks amongst his peers. So he will buy the best in the market, the most sophisticated looking and the most efficient, and that will make Arav look cool. So first you buy something like that. Then what do? You involve Arav in the decision. The value of the offering is increased significantly when you involve the person who is going to be consuming the food in it. And then what do? You could possibly carry it further by creating portions which will have a surplus involved in it so that, he can share it with his friends. When you do that, there is a shift in the focus. Now you have shifted from you to Arav and extended it to his friends. Now, when the friends see that he has come with an electric tiffin box, which is very cool and which is very fancy, they start complaining in their house. They start discussing Arav. When they see that Arav is bringing food which is aligned with the junk food which is available in the canteen but is nutritious and warm, and he is also sharing it with them, his status as a member of the student community goes up. People want his friendship because he is giving them something. This is what a simple but overlooked shift in buyer focus leads to. What are the benefits? Improved health for Arav, satisfaction for Arav in the sense that he's getting warm and good food, and bonding with his colleagues, his peers, and all at minimal cost. This is what is meant by value innovation in the Blue Ocean strategy, where the experience value goes up, cost comes down. Then this results in the Blue Ocean. And what is the broader lesson? Often innovation isn't about adding more features, but aligning with the right buyer in the chain. Any questions? Just imagine, for simple thing as a tiffin box, if so much can be done. For a tiffin for a child, so much can be done. Imagine what you can do for your industry and your career. Just think about the possibilities. Yeah, one thing you'll have to do. Think. Difficult task. Because as I said, we are all habituated to the teacher thinking for us, giving the notes also sometimes, and reading it, and then replying that also, and we will ask the number. क्यों जय जी सही बोल रहा हूँ गलत बोल रहा हूँ? You know, हम लोग स्कूल में जब पढ़ते थे, when we used to study in the school, हम लोग लास्ट में परीक्षा के पहले मैडम से पूछते थे, मैडम बता दो ना कौन कौन सा क्वेश्चन आने वाला है. हमने बस एक ही काम नहीं किया, हमने उनसे बोला नहीं आके परीक्षा भी तुम ही लिख दो ना. जब इतना सब कुछ हो गया तो फिर परीक्षा भी हम क्यों लिखें, तुम ही लिख दो. गोस्वामी सर, हम लोग तो इससे बच गए. We both are too old for it. अब लेकिन माथुर साहब नहीं बचे हैं. माथुर साहब अब भी पढ़ाई लिखाई में लगे हुए हैं. डॉक्टरेट कर लिए, लेकिन उनको अभी भी जी नहीं मतलब कंप्लीट हुआ है. मुझसे कह रहे हैं कि मैं आ रहा हूं, आप मुझे कोलंबिया यूनिवर्सिटी ले चलिए. बताइए कोई तरीका है ये भी?
तो जब जो भी कुछ लर्न किया ना सर, जब से आपसे पास आया तो सब लग रहा है कि कुछ किया ही नहीं, एट जीरो.
अरे वाह, झापड़ मारना है तो आपसे कोई सीखे. ओके, चलिए, लेट्स मूव टुवर्ड्स द कमर्शियल एप्लीकेशन ऑफ दिस. Renu was buying and designing for a convenience, not for Arav's preference. By involving Arav, the user, in the decision, the value of the offering increased significantly. A simple but overlooked shift in the buyer focus led to improved health, satisfaction, and bonding, and all at minimal cost. Often, innovation isn't about adding more features, but aligning with the right buyer in the chain. So let's see the lunchbox challenge as seen through this blue ocean grid. Identify purchaser, user, influencer. Who pays, who uses, who influences. Renu mother pays, prepares. Arav's son is the user. Peers and school culture influences Arav's preference. Who is the product currently designed and marketed for? Who is, in the next point of identifying the dominant buyer, who is the product currently designed and marketed for? Who do we usually sell to? Most tiffin products and home food systems are designed for the preparer, the parent, usually the mother. Everything is focused on the mother. Very few focus on the user and the influencer. But when you started focusing on the user and the influencer, the purchaser had to fall in line. Because you see, when you focus on the purchaser, the user and the influencers are not impressed. So it will fail. Like Renu was looking at her convenience. But when she shifted the focus to Arav, automatically, since he was being influenced by the influencers, they were also brought into the ambit of, service. And then, the whole thing changed. Who is ignored or has no voice? Where is the mismatch? Who is ignored or underserved? In this case, the actual user or of the child is often ignored in tiffin-related decisions, especially in teenage years when peer opinion matters. Just talking to him, ignoring the peers will also not work because peer opinion matters. What does each party really care about? What frustrates each role? Renu, tired of rejection, time, stress, and food waste. Our food is cold, dull, or uncool. Peers influence where acceptable to carry or eat. What are the shift? What happens if we redesign for the user or influencer? Can we design for a different buyer? That is the user or the influencer. As I said, for you, the buyer is the user, influencer, as well as the purchaser. Can you define? Till now, you were designing for the purchaser. Now, if you design for the user and the influencer as the buyer, what happens? Shifted focus from parent to child as user, involving him in the selection of lunchbox and menu, acknowledging emotional and social need. The lunchbox, because it has to be hot, can't get soggy, and the menu, because it has to be aligned with the junk food which is available in the canteen and which is the preference of all his peers. Obviously, it is not possible that he would have gone and purchased the junk food while others were eating home food. So obviously, it means that the other boys are also going for the junk food. When you start servicing RO by providing food which is aligned with the junk food but homemade and hot, you are not only ensuring that his nutritional needs are fulfilled, you are making him a leader in his peer group because he is going to be pulling the entire peer community towards him away from the junk food by distributing these small amounts, and then in the process making them also come with such solutions. How can we redesign and communicate value? How do we create differentiated value? A stylish self-heating tiffin, user-selected fixed menu, personalized note, created joy, pride, ease, not just a meal. It was a basket which you created. Now let us get into the commercial aspect of it and see how companies did it. The first company we look at is Oral-B. They redesigned the toothbrush with music, lights, and fun features to delight kids. Children wanted to brush, making parents happy too. They shifted focus to the user. We have a number of very senior people here, like Goswami sir is there, Ashok Madanji is there, Mathur Saab is there. We all have grandkids. How many of you have tried to help your grandkid brush? Believe me, I have to do it every morning, so I know. So how many of you have tried? Okay, Chitraji, you can take leave, no issue. If you are not feeling well and you want to be excused, Chitra ma'am is not feeling well. So, see, we have to dance and sing and do everything under the sun so that, they will brush their teeth. Am I right? Oral-B solved all that problem. Let's see. The chain of biometrics for Oral-G. They are also come, as I said, Oral-B is first when they entered into the market against Colgate and other brands of toothbrush. They had come with single units. All these other companies, they used to come with multiple toothbrushes in a pack. But Oral G's stand was very simple. One, based upon whether you want a hard one, you want a soft one. They even had an ultra soft one. Then they redesigned the whole thing. Let's see what they did. Number one, identify purchaser, user, and influencer. This is the first step they did. Purchaser, parent, user, child, or adult family member, influencer, dentist, school teacher, media, everything. Purchased by the caregiver, but used by someone else. Dentists have a strong influence on brand choices. See what happens when you take a child, you go to the doctor, dentist. What are the reasons you go? Number one, there is a cavity. The child has tooth pain. The child has bad breath. The child has got, misaligned teeth. All these are the reasons. So the dentist automatically, starts giving advice on dental health. And in the process, he suggests toothpaste and toothbrushes which are to be used by the child. What is the product currently designed and marketed for? Who? Currently, marketing is primarily focused on the parent purchase and occasionally the dentist. That means that most companies, they focus mainly on the parent. By focusing on what? Economy. And they focus on the dentist. By pampering to the dentist's individual requirements, financial and social requirements. They call him for conferences and other things to give a talk, or they give him inducements. So then he will recommend. But everyone forgets that the person who is using it, the child, is the one whose happiness is most important. The child can reject it. The user experience, especially for children or teens, is not a primary focus, even though their willingness to use the product impacts actual effectiveness. Who is ignored, has got or has no voice? Where is the mismatch? Children may dislike brushing or find the toothbrush boring. Dentists may recommend other brands that others benefit, that offers benefits to them. See, these are the two major mismatch. The user, that is the child, may not find the toothbrush interesting and not accept it. Second thing is the dentist may be offered something better by the competitors. The user child's engagement is overlooked. Dentists may feel disconnected from Oral G's positioning compared to competitors. So these are the two areas, where there is tremendous amount of scope. What is the pain point? What does each party really care about? The purchaser parent is looking for affordability and trust. Safety. User is looking for fun, flavored design. Influencer is looking for scientific reason for why the brush should be used. And personal benefits, I did not put that here, but personal benefit is something which is a huge influencer for the dentist. Gaps exist in creating an engagement for kids, tools for dentists, and trust building content for parents. This is where the gaps are. If you can create fun engagement for kids, tools for the dentist by which he will benefit or his status among his community will go up, and trust building content for parents, then your product will succeed, or you can reposition that product very effectively. What happens if we redesign for the user or influencer? Design for kids to make brushing a fun experience, for dentists to distribute and reinforce the brand. What happens if the dentist himself redistributes it? His status goes up. He has greater control over the type of material his customer should use, that is the patient. By focusing on the user, child, and influencer dentist rather than only the purchaser parent, Oral G can increase daily use, compliance, and brand loyalty. So what did OLG do? How can you redesign and communicate value? Combining fun for kids, science for dentists, trust for parents. They decided to combine all these three. Integrate all three roles to differentiate oral G from basic oral care products and create demand through innovation and personalization. That's precisely what they did and reached the top of the ladder in dental health. How many of you don't know about oral G? I'm sure all of you know, isn't it? How did they come to this position? Only like this. Any questions?
Never used it, or once or twice maybe.
You see, that is this thing, that change is the most difficult thing in life. But I can tell you one thing. Colgate, which used to have over 80% of market share, has dropped by over 50% of that. And there was one product which was very, very famous at one time. Can you tell me which product I'm talking about in dental?
Binaka.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because of lack of innovation and proper marketing and positioning, Binaka has totally got wiped out. They were very famous during the Radio Ceylon days. You remember Binaka Geet Mala?
Yes.
But the problem is, even after the advent of TV and other things, they continued with that. And with Amin Sayani, Binaka also went up. This is what is meant by not moving with the time.
In the brush industry now, mechanized and automatic brushes have come in a big way.
That's what Oral G did. That's what ushered in by Oral G only. The rotary ones, you just keep it and then it keeps rotating and then doing all sorts of, roller coaster movements. And I don't know whether it cleans your teeth or not, but it looks great. You feel satisfied. कि चलो यार, given full attempt तो मार दिया है. Clean हुआ है नहीं हुआ वो बात की बात है. Now let us move on to a very, very other interesting product. Can you tell me recently one product has made a huge impact worldwide? Can you tell me which one it is?
Sensodent.
Not dental. In lighting industry.
LED bulbs.
Correct. Philips Hue LED. Now let's see how Philips Hue LED turned the market upside down and these are the classic instance of, chain of buyer philosophy being applied to it. The ultimate is smart lighting solution. Philips Hue smart lighting. Philips Hue smart lighting, industries, home lighting, smart home technology. Philips Hue redefined lighting not by improving brightness, but by looking across the chain of buyers from the one who pays to the one who installs to the one who enjoys the ambience. They address all three. Now let's see how they did it. Very insightful. Identify purchaser, user, influencer. Purchaser is a homeowner or the tech-savvy buyer who pays for the product. User, entire household, and they know nothing about it. And the influencer is the interior designer. He is the one who influences the decision, but the purchaser is the homeowner. Application, the person who buys smart lighting is often different from the daily user and the influencer like a designer. Because you are going to be using it. When you go and buy a bulb, who are going to use it? Your wife and children. Mainly, they are the one who will be at home, you will be in the office. You come back, already the light is burning, everything is going on. And who is influencing all these things? The interior designer who is going to be suggesting when the house is built or when you want to design it. Who is the product currently designed and marketed for? Where is the bulb industry focusing? Most lighting products are designed for purchasers, homeowners, and landlords with a focus on cost and energy. Whenever you read an advertisement, what do you hear? You hear of the brightness and you hear of the longevity of the bulb, right? For so many man hours, the bulb will be burning, it will not go off. So cost and energy, and then they tell you about how much energy this bulb will consume, so that electricity bill does not go up. Philips originally targeted the buyer but saw opportunity in making lighting engaging and interactive for users, mood lighting, voice control, and all these things. They thought if we could bring it, things could look very different. Who is ignored or asked that? No voice. Where's the mismatch? Non-tech savvy members. The users are usually non-tech savvy. They may find app control lighting confusing. I myself will not be able to use app control lighting. Influencers, designers want aesthetics and ambience. They want that. Philips realized that everyday users wanted simplicity and ambience, and influencers wanted lighting that matched interior themes. There was a contradiction in it. One wanted simplicity and ambience. The other wanted that the lighting should match with the interior design which they have created, the themes which they have created. What does each party really care about? Purchaser cares about energy saving, cost, and ease of installation. Obviously, it should be very easy to install it. If the fuse is blown off or the bulb fails, then you should be able to take it off and you put a new one. Energy should be saved. The current consumption should not be more. The price of the product should be less. For the user, it is a question of simple control, mood creation, reliability. Mood creation means the light should not be very dull or very bright. And it should be reliable. It should not go off at odd hours. And for the influencer, it is the aesthetics. He is more interested in beauty and alignment. Philips responded by integrating Alexa, Google, the two main, voice control platforms, creating preset moods and providing stylish ambience. What happens if we redesign? Philips created easy setup for users, ambience packages for designers, light automation scenes for families. These shifts expanded the product's appeal, making it a family-centric, design-conscious lifestyle tool, not just a utility. It enhanced in the mind of the user, the entire family, that it was using something which was, up in the air, in keeping with the affluent, the stylish, the upscale mobile group. How can we redesign and communicate value? More than just light. It was ambience, wellness, and control. Philips Hue became a smart lifestyle product, not just a bulb. They repositioned it as a lifestyle product, not just a bulb. Campaigns featured experience, wake-up lighting, romantic dinners, party vibes. It shifted from selling bulbs to selling emotional benefits, convenience, creativity, personalization, and family experience. That is how Philips created a massive attack on the market and left every other bulb behind to race to the top as Philips Hue smart lighting. Thank you, friends, for your patient hearing. Time for your feedback. my sincere request, please give your feedback in the group, preferably without having to be reminded. Maybe that's expecting too much, but still nothing wrong in expecting. Please post your feedback based on these 5 points so that you will also get an opportunity to review what we have discussed. At the same time, I will get an opportunity to understand how you felt and what it is I need to improve upon so that I can give you a better experience as a mentee. The next class will be somewhere on the 12th, because from 7th to 11th, I'm conducting a series of workshops on Dublin Innovation Framework here in New York University Alumni Group. So I will not be available. I cannot be taking this, I cannot be continuing this for the next 1 week. But instead of that, I will be conducting the next class to look across complementary products and service offering. Somewhere on the 12th, I will be informing you. We'll meet at that time. In the meantime, if there's any clarification, you are most welcome to contact me. All those of the exclusive premium strategy group will receive the recording. You can go through it, and any request, any clarification, you can talk to me. The next one class will be look across complementary products and services. I think it will be on 12th or 13th. I will check whether I'm free during that time, and we will have that at that time. Is it okay with you all?
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Any questions?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, sir.
Good night.